All right, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining me in this live stream. Nice to have you here. I really do appreciate it. So, as you noticed by the title of this video, I do want to talk about a very important aspect of your Social Security benefit. Now, really quickly, when I say Social Security, I'm referring to all benefits administered by the Social Security Administration. You know what they all are, right? I talk about all of them in many of the videos here on the channel, and you know exactly what they are, right? There's a ton of them, and they go out to about 70 million people every single month right now. So, with that being said, I want to talk about, again, a very important aspect, which is your annual raise to benefits. Now, a couple days ago, maybe you saw the videos about this. I had a couple live streams out lately as well, but just a couple days ago, we got the most recent inflation data. Now, I want to share with you the details about this because I've seen a number of questions coming in over the last couple days here and on the live stream that I had the other day, things like this, talking about this inflation data and kind of looking forward out into the future. Now, to be fair, yes, as I film this video, we are in mid-April right now. So today is whatever the date is. I don't even know what the date is right now. But anyway, we're in the middle of April right now, okay? So we're only a handful of months into the year so far, right? Mid-April, we're 3.5 months into the year, right? But we have a lot of months to go between now and those 3 very important months, but considering where we're at right now and how much inflation has risen so much just so far this year and where the projections are pointing toward right now, I want to give you some different details on this as far as where we may, again, I want to emphasize that, where we may be sitting as far as inflation and where these forecasts are as far as the COLA for your, cost of living adjustment for your benefit in just a matter of months here with this inflation, okay? So we're going to take a little bit of a conservative approach looking at this, okay? Now, obviously, we can run numbers based on anything right now, but based on even the most conservative numbers, as far as what we've seen so far, just the last 3 months of this year, we're already looking at basically locking in a 5% COLA, okay? Again, I want to make this very clear here. No promises whatsoever. The reason I say that is because we don't know. It's way too early right now to know exactly where we're going to be, but even based on the conservative numbers, we're looking at 5%, okay? If this inflation continues at the same pace that it is, as it has been the first, handful of months so far this year, and based on the current trajectory of this right now, and the forecasts of where the COLA is going to land, okay? So, pretty interesting. Now, again, remember, 5%. That's not great, but it's certainly not bad, okay? 5% is historically double what it has been the last 10 years running, okay? In fact, let me tell you this much really quickly. The last 10-year average on the COLA is 2.6%. So a 5% COLA would be basically double that. So that'd be doubling up right there. And that'd be honestly pretty nice for a lot of people. Another thing too as well, remember the COLA is permanent. So, okay, you might think, well, we lost money this year because, inflation was 7%. We got a 5%, whatever it happens to be. And we think, well, we lost money. Okay, you're right. We have been losing money here the last couple of years. But remember, if you continue to receive Social Security benefits for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, for the most part, if inflation goes back down and we get into a deflationary point of time, which that's going to be a long time out from now if we're there. But if we get into a situation where inflation is handled and it's down at say 1%, 1.5%, 2.5%, and we've locked in these massive COLAs here the last couple of years. Again, 5.9% a couple of years ago, 8.7% last year, 3.2% this year, and whatever it happens to be for next year. If we lock in some nice massive COLAs here, that's a permanent raise to your benefit, and you'll continue to get raises compounded on top of that every single year, year after year. Remember, Einstein said it. I was there. I heard him say it. I'm kidding. I was not there. But apparently Einstein, like super, smart guy, said that compounding is what? The eighth magical wonder of the world? It is. If you run numbers on this stuff, you don't need to be a mathematician about it. But if you look at compounding, it's very powerful. Add compounding and time, and you've got a lot of money really fast, okay? So my point is, it adds up quickly. Compounding is amazing when it actually has time to work, okay? That's kind of the key factor too as well. Without time, compounding, it's great, but time is really where this stuff adds up fast, okay? So anyway, let me explain here really quickly now, okay? By the way, if you're joining me live right now, again, thank you. Really do appreciate it. Hope you're having a nice weekend so far, right? But let me run through some numbers here really quickly. Let me just kind of illustrate exactly what we're seeing so far this year. And again, I'm going to give you a little bit of a conservative approach on this. If the numbers come in bigger this conservative approach is going to be way too low. Get my point here? So even on the conservative side, this is what we're looking at. But I'm going to run through some numbers really quickly, and then I'm going to jump into the chat box here, and then I'll go through some questions and do whatever in the chat, but that'll be in a couple minutes here. So if you're joining me live, again, thank you. Just hang tight here. I will get in the chat here in just a couple minutes. All right, so let's look at the forecast so far. So here we are sitting in April. So as of right now, in April, we do not have the inflation data for April. In fact, inflation data for April will be out in the middle of May. That's how it always is, okay? It's always in the middle of the following month. So this year so far, we have inflation data for January, February, and March, okay? We just got March inflation data a few days ago. But as of right now, here's what it's coming down to. In January, the forecasts for the COLA for next year were coming in at 1.7%. In February, the forecast for the COLA came in at 2.4%. So we went from 1.7 to 1 month later being at 2.4. That's an increase of 0.7% of the forecast for the COLA just in one simple month. That's it. That's a big increase on a month over month basis, okay? My point is, the forecast coming in jumped by 0.7% just in 1 month. That's big, right? That's like a big adjustment, okay? Now, this last inflation report that we just got out a couple days ago, the forecast for the COLA for next year came in at 3%, okay? So we went from, say, 2.4 to 3%. That's 0.6% of an increase as far as how much that went up, okay? So January to February went up 0.7. From February to March, it went up by 0.6%. Kind of see what I'm saying here? Okay. Now, let's take the conservative approach here. Let's just say going forward, the forecast only increases by 0.4% going forward. That's less. That's significantly less than what we've seen so far, just with the adjustments on the month over month, the first few months of this year. You following all this? Okay, so let's just use a 0.4%. So a 0.4% potential increase as far as the forecast for the COLA on a month over month, and extrapolate this out over the next few months here and see where we're sitting by the time we get to July, okay? You following that? I wish I had a whiteboard so I could write this all out. My handwriting is terrible. I don't know if that really helped because you probably wouldn't be able to read my handwriting, but just kind of visualize this. I don't even have, if I had like little numbers, I could hold them up as I talk here, right? I don't think that's going to work either, but just kind of like picture this and visualize this as I talk through it, okay? So as of right now, based on just a couple days ago and the most recent inflation data, the forecast is sitting at a 3% COLA. However, that's as of March. Now we have April, we have May, June, and July. We have 4 more months of inflation data that we need to get before we're even in July, August, and September, the 3 months that they actually use to determine how much the COLA will be for the following year. But let's use that conservative 0.4% forecast of an increase every single month for the next 4 months, okay? So now let's just say that April rolls around. Again, we're in April right now, but we don't have the inflation data for April. But let's just say in a month from now, when we get the inflation data in the middle of May, let's say that the forecast jumps up another 0.4%. So now the forecast is sitting at 3.4%. You know, you just kind of follow me here with this, right? Okay, so now let's just say that the inflation data for April suggests a forecast of 3.4%. Okay, now we get the inflation data for May, and it suggests an inflation, because of inflation, the forecast is now sitting up again another 0.4%. Now we're sitting at 3.8%. But remember, we still have a couple more months to go until we're in those critical months, July, August, and September. Okay, so now we go out another month. Okay, so now we have the April inflation data and June inflation data. Now we have, May inflation data. Now we have June inflation coming in. Okay. So now we're sitting at June. Now we're looking at 3.8 plus another 0.4 is 4.2%. Okay, so that's for June. Now we're in, out to July. Okay, now July, this is very, very important. This is where they start taking that inflation data. Okay, now we're potentially sitting in July and we add another 0.4%. Now we're sitting at 4.2 plus another 0.4% on top of that would be 4.6%. Okay, that's where the forecast would be sitting. Again, using a very conservative 0.4% increase of the forecast on a month over month, basically extrapolating out April, May, June, out until July. Okay, so July, let's just say the forecast is sitting at 4.6%. Okay, now let's add another 0.4% on top of that. For August, now let's just say it jumps up to 5%. Okay, awesome. We've got a 4.6 and a 5%. And now let's add another month onto that. September, the last month that actually matters. and that is sitting at adding another 0.4% would be 5.4%, right? So averaging this all out, and again, another thing too, so the actual calculation for this is basically taking the inflation data from the third quarter, July, August, and September, comparing it over the inflation from the previous year and taking the difference, and that's what the COLA is for the following year. You kind of follow that formula? So that's what they use there. But just sitting on this inflation data and just moving up a 0.4% forecast every single month here, basically until we get to those July, August, and September readings, we're looking at easily a 5%. If we continue at this same trajectory, okay? Now, again, I know there's going to be a number of people out there that disagree and say, oh, it doesn't work that way, and, that's not how inflation goes. I totally get it. I totally agree. Inflation does not move up every single month exactly 0.4%. I totally get that. But I was just using more of a conservative approach and just saying, if the forecast jumps by 0.4% every single month between now until when we get into those 3 critical months, then this is where we would be sitting. But if we look at what inflation has actually been doing, look, inflation went up, the forecast anyway, from 1.7 to 2.4. That's 0.7%, nearly double what I was using as my conservative forecast here in this 0.4%. You see what I'm saying here, right? Remember, from February to March, it went from 4.6 to 3%. That's 0.6%. So again, my 0.4% forecast here is actually pretty conservative. You can see what I'm saying here? So again, we have to see what happens here. Now again, I said this earlier and I'm going to say it again really quickly. No promises. We have no clue. Inflation could go down massively next month, or this month I should say, for April, when we get the announcement in a month in mid-May. We don't know yet, but I don't anticipate that's going to happen. We could see it slow, which would also reduce the projection pretty aggressively as well, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's all just a forecast. It's all speculation at this point. But based on what we're currently seeing right now, it's not looking great. Well, depends on how you look at it, right? If you're looking at a massive raise to benefits, well, then we could probably say, hey, it actually looks pretty good, right? We're looking toward a pretty nice, healthy raise again. But if we're looking at it and saying, oh, inflation's going up, then I guess depends on how you view inflation, but that would not be the best picture, right? But here's what we do know. Inflation's going up, and some high-profile people out there have suggested we may be seeing 8% inflation again at some point, relatively soon, okay? If we go back to 8%, let's cross our fingers. I'm just going to say this really quickly, okay? First off, we have nothing we can do about it, okay? Inflation just is what it is, okay? It's basically too much money chasing goods and services, driving up prices. That's literally okay, think of this analogy, okay? This is a great analogy. You're at an auction or you're bidding on something on eBay, right? Who buys junk on eBay, right? Sign me up. I have bought way too much junk on eBay, right? But think of it this way. You see the price. It starts out at 99 cents. Awesome. I'm going to bid, right? I'm going to put my max bid at $20, whatever. And then you have a bunch of other people come in and they bid. And your automatic bid goes up and up and up and keeps outbidding them until you get to your max bid, right? You know how this goes, right? You've been buying too much junk on eBay like me, right? Again, we know how it goes. But anyway, my point is, inflation's kind of like the same thing. It's just too much money chasing goods and services and driving prices up, bidding it up on an auction. It's kind of the same thing. Doesn't really work like an auction, but it's kind of the same thing. Supply and demand, supply chain issues, stuff like that, does have a little bit of a factor. Availability, productivity, production, stuff like that. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but kind of the same thing, just driving up prices. So that's what it comes down to. But here's the thing. We have no influence on inflation. Well, okay, I guess we could if we say we're not spending any money anymore, we're just going to save all our money, and we're going to live off the land. Okay, I guess we would not have any inflationary impact to the economy. But, remember, it's cumulative across the entire country. Everybody, all businesses, people, individuals, it's all kind of cumulative. Does that make sense? Right? So anyway, here's the thing. For the most part, we don't really have a whole lot of impact on the inflation, except for it's just going to continue to do what it's doing. But let's just say that it does go up to 8%. Let's cross our fingers that it doesn't, because that'd be really, really bad for a lot of people, and the economy would be in a very bad place. But if it goes up to 8% again, let's just cross our fingers that it does go up to that and tops out in August. Reason I say that is August is the middle of the 3 months, July, August, and September. That means we're capturing the peak of this inflation, and that would be the best for the beneficiaries. If inflation tops out in, say, December or January or February, that's not a good situation for you and your monthly benefit, because it means you've missed the top, right? it's like selling a stock. Do you want to sell in the middle or do you want to sell at the top? I'm not sure about you, but you want to sell at the top. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, sell at the highest price you possibly can, right? So anyway, that's what I'm saying here when it comes down to all these details here and what's going on with this inflation. So we don't know what's going to happen here, but if we look at the trajectory, where's the trend going? The trend is going higher. So that's kind of what we need to look at and where we need to project accordingly. Does that kind of make sense? And again, hopefully these people that are saying this are wrong by saying inflation is going to go back to 8%. But I wouldn't be shocked. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just going to be very transparent about this. I would not be shocked to see that happen based on what is going on. The Federal Reserve policy, sorry, not working, right? They've jacked up interest rates massively the last couple of years here, costing all of us more money. If you're floating any balances or if you have any new loans or anything like that, you know you're paying it. Interest rates are not fun right now. They're very, very high, and it's making it really hard for a lot of people to get by right now. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So does all that make sense here? And that's what I'm saying. We could easily be looking at a 5% COLA when it comes down to it. That's why I wrote in the title, forecast, okay? That's what we're looking at right now. We're still several months out from this, but, you know, just have to look at the big picture here. Does kind of make sense? All right, so with that being said, I think I'm done with my Ramble Fest. So let's jump into the chat and see what's going on here. I'll spend a little bit of time in the chat. I'm not going to spend forever in there. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, stuff like that, stick that down below. Otherwise, yeah, let me know. And just want to do what I can. So anyway, I know this is, you know, it's all speculation at this point, but what isn't speculation? Literally everything is speculation for the most part until it's history, then it's factual, right? We can look back in history and be like, well, look, that's what it was in, you know, in history, in factuality, or actuality, sorry, factuality, actuality, you know what I mean? But yeah, for the most part. All right, so let's see what's going on in the chat. Sorry, that little monologue there got a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to give, you know, examples and kind of explain things so they kind of give the rationale behind what's actually going on and kind of the logic behind the speculation as well. Where is it? Let's see. Sorry, everybody. I'm super slow. Where's the chat? Elijah. Yeah, I see ya. Thanks for watching. Virginia, you're welcome. Yeah, Virginia says, thanks for your opinion. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here, Virginia. Bonnie Wagner. Yeah, Bonnie Wagner says, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, nice to have you here. Thanks for watching, Bonnie. Helen, thanks for watching. And again, I'm only going to say the last names if I know I can pronounce it really well, but it's just going to be a lot easier. So yeah, Helen, thanks for watching. Nice to have you here. Latanya Smith checking in. Hey, Latanya, nice to see you here again. Yeah. Christopher saying thanks for all you do. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. You're welcome. And again, just want to do what I can for you. I know, rough times. Let's just be real, right? We all know really, really rough times right now. It's a sad situation. Hang on a second. Let's see. Just got to handle something here real quick. Perfect. Okay, took care of that problem. Okay, Pamela. Hello, Pamela. Nice to see you there. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, Judy's saying she doesn't see a big change coming. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, there's probably not going to be big changes. At some point there will be. At some point there's going to be big changes coming in because they have to do something about this. But yeah, for the most part, this is kind of, it just is what it is as of right now. But again, there's so many different pieces of legislation out there right now. It's nuts to see all the different things that are out there. I don't even know. I mean, this stack of legislation that's out there right now, it's massive. You've heard me talk about a lot of them before in other videos. Honestly, I haven't even talked about some of them that I've seen out there just because they seem so ridiculous. It's like there's not even a point to even talk about it. Yeah. Janice saying good morning. Hey, good morning, Janice. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Uh, Yvette, sorry. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. Sorry, Yvette. Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. So Samuel is saying that SSI, it's a program to keep people out of poverty. Yeah, it is. It was supposed to be an anti-poverty program when it started 50 plus years ago, but unfortunately, the program has fallen behind so much that it's kind of a poverty program now. Yeah. Leah is saying you could be right, but Leah thinks it's actually going to be more like 8%. So, oh man, could you imagine? That'd be another big cola if that's the case. Inflation is out of hand. If it gets to 8% again, that'd be nuts, right? Inflation would be out of hand. The economy would be very, very bad. It'd be an ugly picture all around for a lot of people. Yep. Wow. Luis Watson, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome. Um, Mary Walker has no clue what's going on. She's accusing me of lying. So Mary Walker, you've clearly not listened. I'm sorry, Mary Walker. You're very, very misinformed. I've told you very clearly stimulus checks are not coming. I don't sit here and lie. So Mary Walker, yeah, you literally need to listen because you're clearly not listening to anything because I say it all the time. You're not getting a stimulus check. I don't know who's telling you that, but I'm definitely not, and I'm definitely not lying to you. So there you go, Mary Walker. Carolyn Austin, there you go. Hello, nice to see you here. Actually, let's go like this. Um, let's see. Oops, what happened? Okay. Uh-oh. Got out of the chat again somehow. Sorry, I know I'm super slow. I apologize. I know I'm very slow when it comes to this. Paula Noble, hello community. Hello Paula, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Happy Saturday. Yeah, Paula, thanks for the nice message. That's kind of you. Sandra Welch says, good morning. What a beautiful day. Yeah, totally agree. It's super nice, right? Yeah. Yeah. Denise said, just jumping on. This was a couple minutes ago. Denise, thanks for joining me. Nice to have you here. I appreciate it. Valerie Lewis says, hello, greetings. Hello, Valerie. Thanks for being here. Sherry George, hello. Nice to have you here as well. Yeah. Sandra says, good morning. Good morning, Sandra. A lot of good mornings. So, yeah, good morning, everybody. Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown says, good morning. Hey, Jackie. Nice to have you here. Appreciate it. So, yeah, it doesn't look like there's really any questions. Honestly, some disgruntled people I see down below, which I'm just getting rid of them. So, yeah, if you're disgruntled, yeah, I'm blocking you for sure. Because, I mean, seriously, you're confused. That's what it comes down to. I mean, seriously, you got to listen. Seriously, I say all this stuff here. Anybody that accuses me of lying, sorry, you're out of here. Okay? Out of here. I'm so sick of it. I'm so incredibly sick of it. All these people coming out saying this stuff. It's like you gotta listen, okay? That's all it comes down to. I mean, yeah. All right. So with that being said, I'm not seeing any questions for the most part. A few opinions, which is fine. That's great. Yeah, Michael Montorio. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but that's kind of funny, I guess. I don't know what you mean. Gina Kennedy. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Nisha is something about is saying something about looks like I'm using something for hair growth. I'm not, but I probably should be because yeah, I yeah, hair is kind of going away. Andrea, Andrea, hello, good morning, thanks for being here. Tamika Davis, hey Tamika, nice to have you here. Mo3, yeah, it's all lawmakers. It's everybody. You have to point the finger at all of them. They're all sitting there doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs. Again, I don't take political sides in my videos, but you just got to say it how it is, right? They all have their excuses, right? They all have so many good excuses. It's just crazy. Like, yeah. Yeah, Martha Lopez. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hazel Green. Nice to have you here, Hazel Green. Nice to see you. Norma Jean. Good morning, Norma Jean. Gabby Rodriguez. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for being here. Judas says, no way getting stimulus checks. This video has nothing to do with stimulus checks. Never said that. Yeah, Paula Noble, thanks again for the nice message. Carmen, good morning and thank you. Yeah. Sherry George, thank you, Sherry George. Martha Lopez, you're slow too. Yeah, I'm not very fast on technology, sorry. Pretty Girl 101, nice name, like that. Good morning, thanks for watching. Yeah, Sherry Young says, hello, thanks for all the information. You helped me understand all this. Yeah, you're welcome, Sherry. I appreciate it. Thanks for the nice message. Joy King. Hello, Joy King. Good morning. Purple Hazel asking if Republicans will make all those Social Security cuts. They can't. They cannot, okay? So many people are worried about this. They can't. There's just no way, okay? Unless they control, okay, this is not going to happen either. I'm just going to say this, okay? Unless they control the House, they control the Senate with over 60 seats, or 60 seats at least, which that's not happening. That has not happened since the 70s. And the president wouldn't be on board with that. It's not happening, okay? Social Security is not going to be cut by Congress, guaranteed. Not happening anytime soon. Jammin, hey, thanks. Nice name. I like the name, Jammin. Yeah, thanks for setting people straight. Yeah, again, it's just like so frustrating. Okay, when I say stuff and then people say, "Ah, you lie." No, I don't. You just have to listen. Okay, I say it very clearly in the videos. Yeah. A lot of nice messages. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Very kind. Yeah, Annie says, why are there so many negative people? Yeah, I don't get it. There's just a lot of frustration, it seems like. Jammin says, you want to know if bright lights or sunlight hurt my eyes? Yeah, it's like super bright, right? So I always have sunglasses going outside. In this room, it's honestly not that great because I have a bunch of really bright lights. Like up top here, I have 2 super bright lights. On the sides here, I have 2 bright lights. And where the camera is, there's a ring light as well. So there's another light there. And okay, so how I know where the camera is there's like a light where the camera is, and I kind of just like stare at the light. It's honestly not a good it's not a good plan, but that's kind of what I do. Sometimes I can't even see the light. Like right now, I'm like struggling to see the light because my eyes are so fatigued. But I kind of know where the light is. I actually have a piece of painter's tape on my table right here. It starts here and it goes all the way to the camera. So what I do is I just hold my hands like on the tape and I kind of like look down the tape. Does that kind of make sense? So Actually, a little pro tip that somebody here on the channel told me, because I was like struggling to see the camera, and she's like, hey, put some painter's tape on your table. And I was like, hey, that's awesome, I will. And I actually have a roll of painter's tape sitting right here, just in case. So if I need more. Yeah. So that's what I do. Shell says, good morning. Hello, Shell. Nice to have you here. I appreciate it. Norma Jean tries to see me every day. Thanks, Norma. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, Carletta. Yeah, exactly. Trying to help people. Sherry Young. Yeah, you're welcome. Shell. Yeah, that's okay. Shell says she's late. That's all right. Just watch the first like 10 minutes or so. Rachel's asking, when will the rise happen for disability? Again, I'm talking about the potential COLA and just kind of the projections out there right now, the forecast, things like that. The COLA comes around once per year. It's announced in October. The information that's gathered for that happens in July, August, and September, and it goes into effect in January. Gather all that? Yeah. So, yeah. Joe Westfall says, good morning. Good morning, Joe. Nice to have you here. Scott Ashmore checking in. Hey, Scott. Nice to have you here. Gloria Singleton from Cambridge. Oh, Bainbridge. Yeah, I think it's Bainbridge, Bainbridge, Georgia, maybe. Yeah. Gloria Singleton checking in from, I think you said Bainbridge, Georgia. I think that's how you're pronouncing it. Yeah, Gloria Brown appreciates it. Yeah, you're welcome, Gloria. Thank you. Penny Dodge says hello. Hello, Penny. Raw Media says hello. Nice. Thank you. All right, so yeah, Shell says thank you once again. You're welcome, Shell. Hey, thanks for joining me in the live stream lately. I've seen your name quite a bit in the recent live streams. Awesome. Thank you. All right, so I've made it down to the bottom of the chat. So let's leave it at that for now. Again, Saturday, we want to all get out there and enjoy what's going on. Hopefully the weather's nice where you're located. Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap it up for there right now. I don't want this video to get too long, even though they they always last a lot longer than I want, right? But anyway, it's nice to chat with those of you here in the community. I really appreciate it. I hope this kind of explains the situation right now. And again, all we have to do is just continue watching this as we move forward. We won't know until we get into July, August, and September exactly what it's going to be, but this is kind of where the speculation is as of right now, and kind of where the forecast is sitting. So we'll see here. Again, it's going to be very interesting. These inflation reports coming out lately have not been good. They're showing that inflation is moving up higher, even though they continue to tell us, oh no, it's not. Just don't look. Trust us, it's not going up. Again, we know better, right? So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, please subscribe if you haven't done so. Otherwise, just enjoy your day. Have a good one. I'll probably catch you again later this afternoon. Otherwise, that's about it. So thanks again for joining me. I'm going to unplug the mic here. And you know what happens when that happens is it's talking. And yeah, so if you're still here, you may want to jump off now, but we'll do this. All right. Finish button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a nice weekend, and I'll catch you again later this afternoon. All right.